Is God ghosting you, or are you just on airplane mode? If you have been side-eyeing the universe lately because your prayers feel like they are going straight to voicemail, we need to have a serious talk about spiritual gaslighting. Look, we live in an era of instant gratification. We want our Amazon packages in 2 hours, our Wi-Fi to be lightning fast, and our prayers answered before we even hit the send button. When things do not go according to our very specific color-coded plans, we immediately think the big guy has left the group chat. We start doubting everything like we are in a low-budget conspiracy documentary. But here's the truth. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. It is actually a sign that you are paying attention. You cannot doubt something you do not care about. Think about your GPS. Have you ever been driving and the GPS tells you to take a turn that looks absolutely sketch? Like it wants you to turn into an alleyway that looks like the setting of a horror movie? You start doubting the app. You think it is glitching. You want to argue with the robotic voice. But usually, 3 miles later, you realize there was a massive pileup on the main highway. And that creepy alleyway just saved you 2 hours of sitting in traffic. Doubt is just you standing in the alleyway, wondering why you are there. Faith is keeping your foot on the gas because you know the map maker sees the whole grid. Here is a hilarious reality check. Back in the day, there was this guy named Gideon. He's basically the poster child for spiritual trust issues. He asked God for a sign, but he made it incredibly complicated. He put a piece of wool on the ground and said, "Lord, if you are real, make the wool wet but the ground dry." God did it. The next night, Gideon was like, "Okay, that was cool, but maybe it was a fluke. Let us do the opposite. Make the ground wet and the wool dry." He was basically asking for a software update 2 nights in a row just to make sure he was not hallucinating. The point is, even the people we call heroes of faith had major error 404 moments. They were not special because they never doubted. They were special because they kept showing up anyway. If you are struggling with doubt right now, stop trying to feel your way into faith. Feelings are the most unreliable narrators in history. 1 minute you feel like you can conquer the world, and the next minute you are crying because a Taco Bell commercial was too emotional. You cannot build a foundation on something that changes when you are hungry. Faith is a choice, not a vibe. It is deciding that God is who He says He is, even when the circumstances look like a chaotic mess. It is realizing that just because you cannot see the signal does not mean the tower is down. Stop checking the spiritual tracking number every 5 minutes. The package is on the way. The route just might include a few detours you did not ask for. Trust the process, even when the process feels like it is lagging. If you're choosing to trust the plan today, even though it feels a little blurry, let me know in the comments. I want to know I am not the only one who needs a reminder. Hit that subscribe button to keep your feed full of good energy, and I will see you in the next one.